Flood insurance buyers are increasingly asking AI platforms to compare carriers, explain coverage, evaluate pricing, and build shortlists before they ever contact an agent or visit a carrier website. That changes the competitive arena. The benchmark shows that AI systems are creating recommendation stage visibility from public evidence, and the carriers that appear most often are not always the carriers that get recommended. Hey, I'm Mark Huntley, founder and CEO of Sitework Studio. At Sitework Studio, we study how brands show up across Google, AI answers, and the public sources buyers trust before making decisions, and how that visibility turns into credible citations, comparisons, and recommendations. This flood insurance analysis is based on a June 2026 snapshot across ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Google AI Mode, Google AI Overviews, and Perplexity. The benchmark looked at 1,108 observations across 3 high-intent prompt clusters: discovery and evaluation, comparison and alternatives, and pricing and cost research. For leadership teams, the strategic issue is straightforward. Buyers are using AI systems as digital intermediaries in a regulated, trust-heavy category. If a carrier has weak recommendation architecture, it may still be mentioned, but it may fail to earn shortlist quality recommendation credit. That is where the commercial risk appears. The strongest pattern in the benchmark is concentration at the top. Chubb leads every major recommendation metric in the category. It appears in 63.1% of AI responses and earns a valid recommendation in 46.1% of observations. It also leads in top 3 rate, rank 1 rate, net sentiment score, modeled monthly AI authority value, and captured share of the total modeled AI opportunity. Allstate is the visibility leader in raw presence terms, appearing in 46.4% of AI responses, but its valid recommendation coverage is 19.2%. That means many Allstate appearances are neutral references instead of positive recommendations. Its 23.8% neutral visibility rate is an important executive signal. AI systems know the brand, but they are often using it as a reference point rather than a recommended buyer choice. FEMA NFIP has the most consequential gap. It appears in 7.9% of responses across 6 platforms, but receives exactly 1 valid recommendation in 1,108 observations. This is the core lesson of the flood insurance benchmark. Mentions, visibility, and recommendations are different business signals. A mention means a carrier appeared in an AI-generated response. A valid recommendation means the carrier earned positive shortlist quality recommendation credit. That distinction matters because buyers act on ranked shortlists. Chubb's 20.7% top 3 rate is more commercially meaningful than its raw mention rate because top 3 placement is where attention concentrates during decision making. Neptune Flood is a useful example of another pattern. Its overall valid recommendation coverage is only 3.8%, but when it is recommended, it has the strongest average recommended rank in the category at 1.34. Its rank 1 rate of 3.3% nearly matches Chubb's 3.8%. That suggests strong evidence in some AI environments and a retrievability gap in others. The benchmark points to a source ecosystem shaping AI recommendations. AI systems build flood insurance answers from publicly available evidence: official carrier websites, comparison and review content, editorial coverage from insurance and financial publications, state-level consumer guides, third-party directories, and government or regulator sources. In this category, FEMA documentation is highly authoritative, but AI systems appear to use it mainly to explain flood insurance, program rules, eligibility, and coverage context. Then they shift to private carriers when generating purchase-oriented recommendations. That is a critical distinction for operators. Institutional authority can help define the category, while recommendation stage visibility depends on whether AI systems can retrieve public sources that support a confident, positive, ranked recommendation. Chubb's consistency across all 6 platforms suggests the strongest public evidence layer in the benchmark. Allstate's platform variation suggests broad recognition but uneven comparison stage or trust stage support. For leadership teams, the repair agenda is practical. First, measure valid recommendation coverage separately from raw mentions. A carrier can appear frequently and still lose the recommendation moment. Second, monitor top 3 and rank 1 rates by prompt cluster. Discovery prompts, comparison prompts, and pricing prompts carry different buyer intent. The benchmark shows the comparison and alternatives cluster has the largest modeled monthly opportunity at 14.5 dollars, which makes it a critical battleground. Third, diagnose platform-specific gaps. Allstate performs far better on Google AI overviews than on ChatGPT. Neptune Flood performs well when retrieved, but is largely absent from ChatGPT and Copilot. Fourth, strengthen the citation footprint across the sources AI systems actually use: owned content, third-party validation, comparison content, reviews, editorial coverage, directories, and consistent entity information. The leadership takeaway is that AI search visibility is becoming a recommendation architecture problem. The benchmark estimates a total modeled monthly AI opportunity of $40.5 million across the 3 public prompt clusters. That is a modeled benchmark estimate, not revenue, policy volume, or guaranteed pipeline. What it does show is concentration. Chubb captures 7.6% of the total modeled opportunity, and Chubb and Allstate together account for approximately 12.5%. The remaining 8 carriers share less than 3% combined. For flood insurance brands, the priority is to understand where you are mentioned, where you are recommended, which sources shape your framing, and which platforms fail to retrieve your evidence. That is where AI-generated shortlists are won.